Blessings in Jesus. My name is Jacob Prasch from Moriel Ministries. Quick questions, quick answers. One question so many people ask us, did Jesus go to hell? Did Jesus go to hell when he died on the cross? This idea of Jesus having gone to hell when he died on the cross is sometimes called the doctrine of Jesus dying spiritually, which basically postulates that it was Satan, not Jesus, who got the victory on the cross. Jesus conquered Satan not in his death, but in hell. He became one nature with Satan in hell, having been tortured in hell 3 days and 3 nights by the devil, and then Jesus had to be born again in hell, then rose from the dead. That is their view of the gospel. This completely heretical and unscriptural idea was first formulated by E.W. Kenyon a number of decades ago, but it was adopted by some of the followers of William Branham and also by the early word faith teachers, that is the money preachers, who followed Kenneth Hagin. Kenneth Copeland has propagated this heresy, as has Joyce Meyer, who once stated, unless you believe Jesus went to hell, you can't go to heaven. Now again, this is a complete apostate abrogation of the gospel. It is total heresy. Jesus conquered death on the cross and in his resurrection. When he died on the cross, he said, "It is finished. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit." He did not descend into, per se, hell, as in Gehenna, a place of torment and separation from God. The basis for this belief becomes a mistranslation in the King James Bible, where the term Hades is translated or wrongly translated as being hell. Hades was simply the Greek equivalent of the Hebrew Sheol, the netherworld. As we see in the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, Hades had 2 chambers. One was the place of those who were going into eternal perdition and judgment indeed, but the other was the place of the bosom of Abraham, a place of respite, a place of waiting for the Messiah to come, a place of rest. It is where the Old Testament saints, and those even before, dating back to Adam, who lived lives pleasing to God as they could in their time, went when they gave up the ghost to wait for the coming of the Messiah. Only when Jesus died for our sin and theirs could they enter the promised land, that being, of course, not the earthly promised land, but heaven. This was the bosom of Abraham, where the Old Testament saints were waiting for Jesus to come after he died. It's what we read in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 19, in which also he went and made proclamation to the spirits now in prison. This somewhat relates to those Old Testament saints who were seen resurrected and walking the streets of Jerusalem after the time of the resurrection of Jesus, and that very mysterious verse we find in the Gospels. Jesus went to Hades. He went to the bosom of Abraham. He was not tortured 3 days and 3 nights in hell by Satan, as the money preachers teach. This is a completely heretical view, and the King James mistranslates Hades, which is simply the Greek equivalent of the Hebrew Sheol. No, Jesus did not go to hell. He went to the bosom of Abraham upon his death. When he died on the cross, he took our sin to give us his righteousness. He said, "It is finished." He fulfilled the Torah perfectly. He fulfilled the law. It was finished. And he said, "Father, into your hands I give my spirit." He did not go to be tortured by Satan for 3 days and 3 nights. This Jesus died spiritually doctrine is another gospel. It is completely heretical. God bless. Thank you so much.